What's happening? It's Lou and the Stew. I'm here with James Power, Ireland's youngest ever professional boxer. How did you get into your boxing career and what age did you start?
I started boxing at 9 years old. My uncle was the coach at the gym that I originally started at. I just went down to try it out, and after 1 or 2 sessions I was like, I'm all in. So just started and never looked back.
So how long have you been boxing for now in total?
I'm 22 now, coming on 23, so almost 14 years.
14 years. That's a lifetime,
It's been a bit.
So how did you become Ireland's youngest ever professional boxer?
It's always been my dream to turn pro.
Yeah.
So I've always been just waiting until I was 18 to legally become a professional boxer. And I was having a conversation with my cut man at the time, and he suggested following the route of Canelo. So when I started, I suppose, researching and trying to find the connections to make that happen, I found out it was possible.
Yeah.
And I flew to Tijuana, Mexico at the age of 17 and turned pro. So I'm the first Irish person to turn pro under the age of 18, which makes me the youngest ever Irish professional boxer. So it's just something different. It was a different route to begin my professional career, and one I don't regret. It was different. Obviously you had the hassle of being in school.
Yeah.
So I was still in my final year of school at the time. So I took a few days off, flew to LA. From there I jumped in with one of the fighters I knew from Instagram. I just had a connection there and messaged him, asked him if he was free. We drove to the border, we drove to Tijuana. I weighed in, met the commission, completely different setup than what I'm used to. You know, I'm in a different country, I'm dealing with a different commission, I have a language barrier. It's completely different to me, and also my first time in Mexico. So
Did you have a good team around you?
it was good, it was good. I flew there with Declan Garrity, who was my coach originally. He was my coach at the time, and it was good. It was good. Just the two of us flew over, we met the commission. I obviously have that fighter as well to help out. Just weighed in, got my professional license, and then went down and fought the next day. So it was quite cool.
How was the fight itself? Was it a tough fight going over to Mexico and fighting, because they're known for being tough brawlers? Was it a hard fight within itself?
Anyone that's in this game knows that, you know, the first few fights you're not thrown in the deep end, and you know, I'm not going to sit here and play off that I was in there with some world champion or anything. I was in there with a tough journeyman.
Yeah.
He was tough. He's from Mexico. Like, I had to get the job done myself, but I was levels ahead, and that's how it was supposed to be. You know, I was only a 17-year-old kid. I got put in there, it's a completely different environment, completely different setting, and got a tough journeyman where I could display my skill but still get the job done. So yeah, it was a good experience, good introduction to the pro game, and you know, I just went on to better things after that.
So what was it like, 17, going out there, then coming back to school?
Yeah, so
What was the first day
it was
back
quite
at school
cool.
like?
It was
Yeah.
quite cool. Like at that fight, it was like I flew to LA on Thursday, weighed in on Friday, fought on Saturday, flew home on Sunday, back in school on Monday morning.
Yeah. I bet you was like a superstar, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was. You know what? Like,
Yeah.
I've always just balanced school and boxing and had nothing else since growing up. So it was honestly no different to me. Like, this thing of becoming a professional athlete, I've always viewed myself as a pro athlete.
Yeah.
Even before I was a pro. So my lifestyle stayed the exact same. So it was no different to me. I still showed up to school, went like every day. I still did all the work. I still, you know, showed up to every class on time, and you know, nothing changed.
So
Nothing
you managed
changed.
to keep that life balance.
Yeah, of course. And my teachers at the time, you know, they deserve a huge credit for that as well, because without their help, there was no way I could fight 4 times professionally that year and still get, you know, good grades in the actual exams.
And how did you get on at school? Like, with having the boxing, was it a distraction or did you still manage to get your work done?
So when I was in school came first, and then boxing, you know, priority-wise, as well, just to give credit to my family, like school was first and then boxing, which is the reason I didn't drop out of school. I had a responsibility there for myself and my family to finish school, and you know, things like that help as well massively down the line with certain things like visas. Like, having an education to a certain standard is the only reason you can get certain visas and things like that. So like, it helps massively, and I'm very grateful that I did finish school, and I'm grateful for, I suppose, that year. Like, it was one of the best years I've had, just because it's different, you know, like, you're a professional athlete, you're having fun, there's media, a lot of media attention on you in the school.
I suppose you're putting yourself out your comfort zone as well, you're growing.
Yeah, of course.
You're still
Like,
young.
Like, I'm not going to say there was pressure on me, because, you know, there wasn't, but it's cool kind of feeling to be like, yeah, I'm popping off to Mexico or Hungary or Slovakia and fighting. and then just going back to school, and I'll have my work done, I'll have my homework done, and you won't have to worry about me showing up, like I'm going to be here. So it was quite cool. It was a test of discipline as well. It was good to test myself. Like, can I still show up? Like, can I train 2-3 times a day and like complete school and then show up the next day and do it as well? So it's a good test of my character, a good test of my self-discipline, and yeah, it was.
I tell you what, that's a strong mindset to have at the age of 17. You started off your boxing career over in Mexico.
Yeah.
You come back to Ireland. Did you have any fights over in Ireland?
So I didn't fight professionally in Ireland yet. I fought in Mexico 3 times, I fought in Hungary twice, and I fought once in Slovakia. When I was of legal age, 18 years old, to fight in Ireland, I moved to Los Angeles. And I signed a contract out there, so I was situated in Los Angeles. I was 5-0 at the time, and my most recent fight, I was 4-0. Then I fought in Mexico, and then when I came home, I fought in Hungary once more, but I haven't fought on Irish soil yet. So.
And what's your pro record?
At the moment, 6-0 with 5 KOs.
Nice, that's strong, brother.
It's okay, yes, we're getting there.
And can you tell us about your transition over to Thailand, why you come over here, and how you ended up coaching over here? Because we haven't told the people yet. You're now a boxing coach in Apollo Gym, which is one of the biggest up-and-coming Western boxing gyms probably in the whole of Thailand. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so the first time I came to Phuket was in 2021, the very beginning of 2021, and it's because of COVID, and I just came home from LA. So I was living in Ireland at the time, and nothing was open. There was no possibility to train. I couldn't return to Los Angeles, as where I was situated as well, and that's where my coaches were, where my gym was, where my teammates were, and I couldn't get back there to train because it was on lockdown. So fortunately for me, Tiger Muay Thai and I began speaking, and one thing led to another, and I was asked if I wanted to come out and see what they had to offer, and I came out here in 2021, I think it was January or February, and I just fell in love with it. You know, a lot of places catch your eye, there's only 1 or 2 that will catch your heart, and from the moment I landed in Phuket, this was the place I wanted to be. And you know, over the past few years I've just been back and forth, more here than back, but I just wanted to be here. It always feels like home to me. The people, the vibe, the energy, it just feels different. So I came here just for a few months to wait until Los Angeles opened, and then during my time here, everything changed, and
fell in love with the place.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave.
Easily done in Thailand,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
So how did you make the transition from boxing, being a professional boxer, into the coaching industry?
So I started coaching with a good mate of mine back home, Aaron Cooney, and that was just personal training, one-to-ones. And that was back home in Ireland, and I was there a few months. We were doing that, and then I came back out here for a wedding and Christmas, 2 Christmases ago.
Yeah.
And when I was here, I got speaking to a friend of mine who was working in a gym in Rawai, and they had an interest in starting boxing classes. And because of, I suppose, my name out here and the connections I made during my time in Phuket before, I was asked if I'd be interested in coming back and giving it a go, which I did. And it was a success. But one thing led to another. I ended up back in Ireland, and then I got in talks with this gym, Apollo. And before Apollo was built, I was in talks with them to come back out here. And I suppose one of the main reasons I'm here is Sean Copes. I worked with Sean closely during my time at Tiger Muay Thai, and I respect everything he does. Like, he's, in my opinion, one of the most respected coaches I've ever met, especially on the island, and I look up to him in many ways. So the opportunity to work with Sean and work under Sean and even get coached by Sean, worst case scenario, was just too much to pass up. So I just booked my first flight out here, and I got out here and I said, whatever you're doing, Sean, I'm following your lead, and I'm there. So as long as he's here, I'm here. And
so he took you on as a bit of a mentor then?
Yeah, so Sean, I'm very grateful that Sean took me under his wing, because he gets messages from hundreds of people. I'm sure he had many people that he could have taken under his wing, and he chose me. So I'm extremely grateful for that. And I suppose the thing with me as well is I slot under Sean, I learn from Sean, but I'm also transitioned into that boxing coach vibe now as well. So I'm in that role. So originally I wasn't supposed to be a boxing coach in Apollo, and I just slot into that role. And I've been here before this gym has been open. So when I got here first, it was just, there wasn't even rings. And then everything slowly got added, and over time we're building something, and it's incredible to see the community being built. And once you create it, it's about setting a standard, right? And we're trying to lead on all fronts. We got boxing, we got Muay Thai, and we got S&C, and we're just trying to set a standard here that is unlike anywhere else. And if we can be true professionals and just show people that hey, if you step through the doors in whatever discipline you want, you're going to get the best of the best. And when you come to Thailand, you're going to want to be part of Apollo. And it's going incredible so far. Like, we're creating a community in here that's just unlike anywhere else. Unlike anywhere else I've been.
Yeah.
Like, from the sponsored athletes to the people that are here regularly to the ones that just come through the door for 1 or 2 sessions, the energy is just different. And it's incredible to be part of from the beginning and see this place go from a concrete floor to an up and running gym. And like, to be here from day one and still be here and have no plan to leave at all, it's something different. And I suppose that's why I'm here. It's building something that could have went, I still could. It could go either way. It could go bust, or it could just keep on growing. But from the trajectory that it's going, we're going to keep on growing. We're going to keep on going up. And like, it's
Well, I know Apollo Gym's new. And how long has it been open for so far?
6 months,
6
five
months?
5 months, 6 months.
And within that time, you've made a crazy reputation for the gym. Like I walk up and down the gym, I'm now seeing so many people wearing Apollo Gym vests. Even yourself, I'm hearing so many people mention your name, James Power, saying you're well known for the boxing here. Like, I'll be sitting in the sauna and I'll say I'll go to Apollo, and you say, oh, you know the Irish coach? I'm like, yeah, James, I've heard that. I've heard that loads of times. You've made a good reputation for yourself so far. What do you think you've done most to achieve that reputation since you've been here?
One thing about Phuket, and I'm going to say Phuket because it would be ignorant of me to say other parts of Thailand, but from my experience in Phuket, your name matters more than anything else.
Yeah.
Your reputation is more important than what you can do, you know? Like, you could be the most talented athlete, and if you're just not a good person, no gym's going to take you. You could be the most talented coach, and if you're not a good person, no gym wants you employed. And it's who you are. Like, when I was here at the beginning, 8 or 9 people messaged me, and they didn't know I was back in Phuket, and they messaged me because they seen a sign up front saying that they were looking for coaches. And it's just the fact that people had my name in mind when they thought of boxing coach it was a special feeling for me, because that means my name carries more weight than most others. And it's something I've really tried to work on out here, is my reputation. Like, when people think of James Power, what do they think of? Do they think of someone that they want to be coached by, someone that they want to train with? Like, what standard am I setting? What example am I setting? And especially for like other people coming. I'm a young coach, so it's a bit different for me to speak in this aspect. But people coming up, people that want to be coaches out here, people that want to be fighters out here, it's like I'm trying to lead by some sort of example. And it's a case of, I might be the most talented boxer, I might be the most talented coach, but if my name carries more weight than anyone, it's like I'll get the shot before they do. And you know I'm going to be reliable, you know what I'm bringing to the table, you know I'm going to show up and give it my all. And I've done that from day one at Tiger training. I've done that when I worked at Southside in Hawaii, and I'm doing that every day when I'm here in Apollo. And it just carries weight. So my reputation for sure, my name, and that's everyone in general. Like, you mention any of the coaches or any of the fighters that are part of Apollo, and it's good vibes, it's good energy. Everyone's respected, and that's what we're striving for, and that's what we're getting.
Well, you've got a great reputation for sure. So obviously you are a young coach. You're only 22.
Yep.
What has been the biggest challenge of being a young coach? What's the most difficult thing?
It's gaining the respect of the fighters.
Yeah.
General population, it's a bit easier to gain their respect because they respect that you know more than them.
Yeah. They respect your talent.
Yes, but when I get a 30-year-old fighter that's achieved more things than I ever could, it's hard for me to give advice. It's hard for me to say you're doing this wrong, and I really have to gain the respect of the athletes.
What's your best way of gaining the people's respect then?
It's being a coach that performs practices what they're preaching and preaches what they're practicing. And it's, if I say, hey, this is how I want you to throw a jab, I'm gonna demonstrate it. I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna spar. I'm gonna hit the bag. I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna try and set the pace.
Leading by example.
For sure, and I have to gain their respect. Like, I've had UFC fighters in here that I've been trying to give information, like give advice to, and naturally, like, and they have every right to not take it on board until we're sparring and we're moving around, and now they're getting caught with it, and they're seeing, oh, this guy can actually hold his own with me. And then the next conversation we have, it's all ears, and they're taking it on board, and it's really just gaining the respect, which is cool for me too, because like, it works both ways, right? The fighters have to gain my respect as well, and any coaches. Like, I don't really mind what you've achieved or who you are. It's more of what I see on the mats, what I see in the ring, and just the discipline, like the work ethic. If I know you're made of it, and I see that you've got heart and you've got what it takes, you've got my respect. You got my respect. Like I'll do anything for you. And even in sparring, like I've sparred a few of the fighters here, and I've gone. Again, like coaches can't do that, right? Like most coaches are just gone a bit past it to be in here mixing it with their pros, with their fight team.
I suppose that's the benefit of being a young coach.
Of being a young coach.
Still not even in your prime yet. Still yet to reach your prime.
I can put myself in those environments. I can get in the trenches, like from a lack of a better way to say it, and I can stand toe to toe with these athletes, and I can see what they're made of from inside there, from a perspective of inside the ring. I can see, okay, I've hit him with everything I've got and he's still walking at me. I know I've hurt him, and how does he recover? Does he just take it and like look for the option to get out, or does he bite down and be like, I'm standing here with you? And you really see what they're made of, and it's like that. Like, can I trust you to be like, hey, I know he's given everything he's got, and like I've sparred people, and I know that we've gotten to that place where it's like, hey, maybe they're going too far, and I say to them, like, I'll do anything for you. At any time you text me, it could be 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. and I'm going to be there to help you because you've earned my respect, and I want to support you. And like that's what it's an obstacle, but it's also, I can use it as an advantage, right? I can bring something to the table that many other coaches can't. And I feel like Apollo's taken a different approach to coaches. We've all young coaches here, and they're all fighters, and they can all like hold their own. They're all more than able to hold their own. So it's a different approach to coaching, and it's one that's working well so far.
Yeah, it seems to be working well. You definitely gained the respect of a lot of people around here.
Yeah.
Built yourself up a reputation. Smashing it,
We have Ash, like, who's a good tough pro. We got Joe, who's experienced. You know, we got Jonathan, who just went home recently.
Got
but
Bill that's come in.
Bill, who's like obviously.
He's in the Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth Games, high pedigree in the amateurs. You've Jonathan, Henry, two Filipino boys that can box.
The gym's booming.
All of us can mix it though. Like, there's no coach that's sitting down on the sidelines telling other people what to do. We can demonstrate, we can get in, and worst case scenario, we can try our best to show it off in sparring. And it's just, I haven't seen any other gym like that. And it's
and you struggle to find that.
It's different,
especially in Thailand, for Western boxing within itself.
But I feel like Apollo as well. We're taking risks for sure. Like, we have Summer, who's one of the head coaches in Muay Thai, and she's a woman. And I don't know if I'm being ignorant here, but I haven't seen any other woman head coach overall. I've seen women coach women in many of the gyms out here, but I haven't seen any woman take the lead in the Muay Thai classes. And the fact that Summer's up front with a whistle, telling everyone what to do, and she's blowing up. It's different, and it's good to see. You know, we're willing to step out of the norm. We're willing to step out of our comfort zone. We're willing to put people in places that perhaps other gyms wouldn't be comfortable with, and it's paying off for us. Like, Summer's killing it right now. She got brought in recently, and you know, she's one of the biggest hits at the gym at the moment, and she's blowing up. So
she's smashing.
Good to have that kind of energy in here, and it's good to see us like not stick to tradition and be like, hey, we'll be respectful of the traditions here in Thailand, but we're also going to put our own twist on it, and we're going to do things that other gyms perhaps
they're the companies and the gyms that grow most. So the people that are willing to try new things, they're trying to experiment, you know?
Yeah, of course.
What advice would you give to any youngsters out there aspiring to be coaches, especially from starting at a young age?
Get some skin in the game. You know, like, giving advice without skin in the game is like shooting without bullets. You know, there's fuck all going to happen. Get some skin in the game, get some years under your belt, get some experience, and then when you do start coaching and you do become a coach, don't stop learning. Like, my coaching has changed massively from my time here, and I'm just picking up things off of everyone. Like, I'll work with some high level athletes and they'll do something, and I'm not the coach to be like, that was wrong. I'm the coach to say, what did you do, why did you do that, and how would that work in your opinion? And then I use it, and perhaps I find an athlete that would benefit from it down the line, and I'm just adding to my toolbox in every single day in every way. And from S&C to boxing to Muay Thai to like wrestling at other gyms to everything.
So do you feel like you're still learning while you're coaching?
Of course. Every single session, every day I'm learning, from PTs to classes. Like, my boxing class, most of the warm-up is strength and conditioning focused. And it's benefiting people in so many ways. My PTs, like, I'm working on things that aren't just here, this is how you jab. This is how we improve your coordination, your rhythm, your timing, your balance. Like, your stability, your hand-eye coordination, like your reflexes, your speed, your strength, your power, like your stamina, your endurance, your work capacity. It's working off of human movement rather than this is the technique. And it's one of the things that coaches have to take into account, like where you are in the world. So if I was in Ireland or in LA, I'm working with just strict boxers who are boxing focused and boxing style, whereas when I'm in Thailand, I'm working with fighters from all different domains. I can't tell you this is how I want you to box because perhaps you're MMA or perhaps you're Muay Thai, and now you're in a compromised position to get leg kicks or to get hurt from elbows or anything like that. And you really have to open your mind and broaden your way of thinking to how can I make these things work, but in so many different ways.
That forces you to think outside of the box a bit.
For sure, like my training here and the classes I do here are unlike anything I've ever done growing up.
Yeah.
Like every now and again there'll be that old school boxing like workout, boxing class or sparring session, but for the most part it's a whole different ball game out here. It's a whole different world, and it's exciting to be part of. It's exciting to see how can we incorporate all these different disciplines into one thing. And if we're coaching boxing, sweet, but we're going to bring a twist from wrestling, a twist from Muay Thai, a twist from karate, a twist from S&C, soccer, football, like
changing the game.
Anything at all. It's a completely different way. So advice to young people out there that want to be coaches, get some skin in the game and then never stop learning. And again, bring it back to what we said originally, your name, your reputation, like who you are matters more than what you can do at a certain point. And it's not even about, hey, is he the best coach that we could have here? It's like, hey, is he someone that we can trust to be here? And like trust is a massive thing. And all my coaches here, from the Muay Thai coaches to the S&C coaches to the boxing coaches, I trust every single person that's in this gym. And I can walk into like work every morning and say, I trust my gym, my teammates, my family in here to provide the best possible experience that anyone can get in Phuket. And and I trust the people that are part of the gym too, like yourself and the other like regular people that are here. I trust you guys, and it helps massively. Like when I coach sparring, I can trust certain people in certain places to control it, that I don't have to micromanage. I'll put you in that ring and I say, hey, I trust you to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
So how long have you lived in Thailand for now, and how have you adapted to the culture since you've been here?
I've lived in Thailand for roughly 3 years now, and I've been back and forth, but I've been more here than back home or anywhere else in the world. And adapted to the culture. I really just got interested and involved in the culture in this trip, and that's been about 6 months now. And you'll always see me wear my amulet, you'll always see me pray at the temples, you'll always see me respect the Thai culture, and I'm speaking a bit of Thai as well. So I've really just indulged myself in the culture this time around. I don't know why, it's just been a feeling. When I got back this time, I just felt like I should go to the temples. I just felt like I should pray. I should really respect the culture and get to know it more. And interestingly, it's opened up a whole different world in Phuket. Like it's opened so many doors and so many paths that wouldn't have been possible if I didn't do that. And this trip to Phuket is completely different. Like the Thais here in this gym, Thais anywhere I go will do anything for me and they'll help me in any way I can because I respect the culture. And adapting to it is not the correct way I would phrase it. It would be, I've just felt at home in it. Like I see it as my culture now. I see it
just feels right for you.
It just feels good. It feels perfect. It feels aligned at the moment, and that's as long as it feels that way, I'll be here.
What's the biggest life lesson you've learned since being out here in Thailand?
Just be a good person. Just be a good person. Respect others, and just communicate with people. Like the best part about Phuket, that, like in my opinion, is the people. And I get the opportunity to meet so many people on a daily basis that I wouldn't get to meet everywhere else in the world. From normal people that just work normal lives or live normal lives, work normal jobs back home, to some big names that walk through the door here. And some of them aren't in the fighting industry, so you don't know who they are. But they have massive businesses back home, or they're very important people elsewhere. And you just get the opportunity to meet people that if your paths didn't cross here, they'd never cross. And I'm grateful for that every day. Like I never take that for granted. Every day I wake up, I know that the people that I meet here, I might never meet again because it's so frequent. They come, they go. I might never see these people again. So it really just makes you appreciate the time you have with people, and then just make the most of it. Like every single day, people will just go home and then they'll never come back. And Like maybe perhaps like the people that come here, maybe if they didn't plan to come to Phuket at this exact time, you would never see them. Or they don't come to Apollo, they go to Tiger. I'll never get to see them and things like that. So life lesson is just appreciate the time you have and just live it to the fullest and just be respectful and be a good person.
Well said, brother.
That's it.
Well said. What's the biggest thing that you're missing about Ireland since you've been out here?
Not sure.
Is there anything?
At times the comfort of being home. I think anyone that travels will miss that. Like you'll think about it every now and again, and your mind goes to a place of damn, it was simple or simpler. But man, I'm not here to live a simple life. I'm not here to live a comfortable life. Like in some aspect, but I'm here to take risks and try and make this the best story I've ever could ever possibly make. And that's why I'm in Thailand. That's why I was in LA. That's why I turned pro at 17. That's why I've done anything I've ever done. And it's because we're only here once. We only got one shot of this, so we make it the best one we can. And you miss the comfort of being home, but I'd never give in to that. I'd never give in to the temptation of that. I'm more disciplined than saying, hey, I can't stick it, because I'm grateful for my life out here. And like one of the reasons I love Phuket so much is it's the only place in the world where if I wake up in a bad mood, I can just click myself back into like the mindset of gratitude. I can just say, damn, I'm grateful. One, look up at Big Buddha, which you can see at all times, or go to Big Buddha and you can't help but feel gratitude and appreciation for everything here. And it's the only place in the world that I've ever been that I felt that, and that's why I'm here. So I miss the comfort of home, but I love it here too much.
Yeah. Well, don't blame your brother. It's an absolute wonderful country. It's easy to be happy here. So we're going to get on to the quick fire questions now. Yeah, I want you to answer these as fast as you can. Whatever comes to mind, just give us your answer, yeah? MMA or Muay Thai?
Muay Thai.
Floyd or Manny?
Floyd.
Island life or city life?
Island.
Bikes or cars?
Bikes.
I think that was easier for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Conor McGregor or Mickey Ward?
McGregor.
Dogs or people?
Dogs.
Pad Thai or Pad Krapao?
Oh, Pad Kapow. Anyone that knows me knows that Pad Kapow game.
He eats 3 at a time. He's a beast. Night in or night out?
I'm going to say night out now. I would have said night in all the way up until this point, but I'm going to say night out. I don't know why.
He's been active.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. YouTube or Netflix?
Netflix.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Ice bath or sauna?
Ooh, ice bath.
Nice, brother. Thank you, James.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.